So over the past 10 years, I have been experimenting all different styles of photography. Everything from cars, portraits to landscapes. For whatever reason, I've never stuck to one. I've always liked to explore and see where my creativity takes me. Today I want to share with you 10 tips that I've learned over the past 10 years. They can help you and the way you see photography. So the first lesson is that fear and doubt will never go away. It's always going to be here. One thing that stops a lot of photographers from going out and actually taking photos isn't necessarily because it's so complicated. It's just because you overthink those ideas. I think that when an idea comes to you, you should just go out and do it. In my own experience, that's often when I get the best photos. For example, a couple of years ago, I decided that I wanted to film a YouTube video. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to shoot. What if I just start grabbing random props from my house and use that in a portrait shoot? I started filming, grabbed all the stuff, made the YouTube video, took some awesome portraits that I was super happy with. But what's really cool about this is that that video ended up being my most viewed video on YouTube to this day. And that's a video on my channel that had the least amount of planning. Number 2 is gear doesn't matter. And wait, hold up a second. I know you're about to comment. Let me explain. Expensive gear is not going to make you a better photographer. No matter what anyone says or whatever the camera guy at the camera shop tries to sell you, it's not going to make you a better photographer. I remember when I was first starting out in photography, I'd been doing it for a couple years and I had a crop sensor Nikon camera. I wanted to upgrade to full frame because I had heard that full frame was like the next step up. So I bought the full frame. I bought a Nikon D750. I went out and did a shoot. The photos were kind of the same. Like I was doing street photography during daylight and I had a similar lens and I'm like, okay. And the reason is what's really going to make you a better photographer is knowing how to use the gear you currently have. It's the same reason why pro photographers can take amazing photos on an iPhone. It's not because they have the good iPhone, it's because they know how to use it. So what I would suggest is whatever camera you currently have, just push it to its maximum capabilities. Learn it inside out. You should be able to pick up your camera and it feel like second nature and like it's a part of you. Once you're at that level, you're going to know how to use it. But if you do not believe me, then I'd like you to comment down a budget camera that you'd like me to test out and I'll go out and do a video and show you how you can still take good photos. Number 3 is lighting is everything. I used to never shoot during the day. I only did night photography when it was raining. The reason was because whenever I was out shooting in the day, I was like, this is just boring. Like, what do I even shoot? I felt like I was missing all those night reflections from when I did all my night shoots. But the thing is, I wasn't looking out for the right lighting. So learning what to look out for when you're out shooting, no matter what the lighting conditions are, is what's going to really make a big difference in your photo. Let's say this nan light is the sun. If you're shooting portraits and the sun is facing the model like this, look how washed out and just boring this frame looks. Like there's no contrast, there's nothing. Whereas if you get the model to turn around 180 degrees and you put the lighting behind them, then you can get this nice glow that's coming off the side of their face and it's going to illuminate them, and that's called backlighting. So learning how to use lighting is going to make all the difference in your photography, because you could be at the exact same location but there's bad lighting, whereas if there's good lighting, it will mean all the difference from a good and a bad shot. Composition matters more than your camera settings. And what do I even mean by composition? Well, composition is what you decide to include or leave out in the frame. Some simple composition rules that I'm sure you've heard before are the rule of thirds, using leading lines, or using negative space to help place focus on another subject. Recently, when I've been out shooting, I've been focusing on what can I leave out of the frame, because if you just make a slight adjustment in your composition and decide to leave some certain distracting elements out, it can create for a way more focused and minimalistic image. Number 5 is that moments always trump perfection. In photography, there might be some times where you only have a split second to take that shot, or there might be an amazing street photography opportunity. It's in those moments where you just need to quickly snap the photo. Don't overthink your settings, because it's way more important to capture that moment. Like a little bit of motion blur or the wrong aperture is not what matters. It's about capturing the essence of that moment. That's what's really going to help tell the story. You know, when you see a photo and you feel like you're there, that's because those photos are taken in those little decisive moments. Get your camera up and just take the shot. So rule number 6 is kind of opposite from rule number 5, and that is to learn to be patient. I want to take this shot, but I gotta wait for someone to go in, and people are walking by, but they might not be wearing the right clothes. Like there might be a worker wearing like a high visibility jacket, and that's just not aesthetically pleasing for the photos that I want. Like I'm waiting for this old guy in like this cool outfit. Maybe he's like holding holding a newspaper or a cool bag. I really want to wait for the perfect subject. But sometimes my impatience gets the better of me and I end up going and not getting the shot that I wanted. If you see a cool photo opportunity and you're not getting it perfectly to what you want, be patient, take 10 minutes, just wait at the spot until you're happy with the shot, because from my experience, it's often in those times where you get your most memorable photos. Number 7 is don't overcomplicate it. Whenever you're planning a shoot, it can feel overwhelming to decide which lenses to bring. I know some photographers who bring a whole camera bag of like 6 different lenses. For me, that is just too much decision making required. So I like to keep it super simple, because when I'm out on a shoot, I don't want to have to overthink what lens that I'm going to use or what camera body. So this is the rule that I tend to go by. Just pick 1 or 2 lenses max and just go. Number 8 is collaborate with other photographers. Some of my most memorable photo shoots have been when I've been out with friends taking photos, because you can bounce ideas off of each other, get creative with each other, and it's just such a more fun, memorable experience. A nice quote I love is, fun times get doubled when you're with good people and hard times get half when you're with good people. Surrounding yourselves with creatives is just such a bonus. Number 9, this is a rule that I've learned recently from moving here to the Netherlands, and in Dutch they say, je kan niet altijd 6 gooien. And what that means in English is you can't always throw 6, like throwing dice, which means you're not always going to get the best shot. And that's fine. The point of photography isn't to always get your best work. It's about the process of actually going out there. I know this sounds so cliche and you've heard it 1,000 times from all these different photography influencers over YouTube and Instagram. Things are cliche for a reason. It's because it's true. I know on Instagram it can seem like all the other photographers are taking the best photos in the world, and it's so easy to compare your work to theirs and start to get into that negative mindset. Trust me, every single photographer is going through those same struggles of feeling like their photos aren't good enough, all of that stuff. Like literally, what is the worst thing that can happen if you don't get a good shot? Let's say you go out and do a photo shoot, you don't get good photos. Then what? You come home, you make dinner, have a nice meal and go to bed. Doesn't matter. Nothing bad is going to happen from taking some bad photos. And the last tip is to ask another photographer for help. If you're finding that you're experiencing some struggles with photography, or there's somewhere where you're feeling stuck, just find a photographer who's already doing the thing that you want to do and just ask them. A couple of years ago, I was wanting to get into food photography, so I asked one of my friends. She was doing food photography at the time. She was taking really good photos, and I said, hey, can I like come along to a shoot and see how you do it? I just offered to help her on her shoot, and in exchange I'm gonna learn her process, and it's just the fastest way to do it, and it's also way better than watching YouTube videos about it, because you're actually there learning. Ask another photographer for help, and it's going to be the best way to learn and get past those photography struggles. So those are 10 lessons that I've learned over the past 10 years. If you found any of them useful, please leave it in the comments below, because I'd love to know which one stood out to you. Other than that, I'll catch you in the next video.